What is going on, guys? Merijn here, and today I'm going to do a good old sit down video because it is time to address a topic, and that is because summer is over and right now it is bulking season. It is time to put on some freaking muscle. So today I'm going to share the biggest mistakes that people make when bulking and that might be holding you back from achieving the body of your dreams. So make sure to stick throughout the whole video and see if you're doing anything wrong and how to fix it. Mistake number one is eating whatever, really. Eating as much as humanly possible because you think that all the food that you eat is gonna go straight into your muscles. I wish that was true considering how many calories I can down in one day. But unfortunately, after a day like that, I do not look like I have more muscle on my frame. Now the issue with those dirty bulks or unstructured bulks is that yes, you will put on a lot of weight. You will also get super strong in the gym, but that is all an illusion because a lot of the weight you put on is fat mass and also water mass. If you're natural, it's only possible to gain so much muscle per year, which is not much, to be completely fair. So it's totally stupid to eat a lot more than that because it simply will be fat mass. Now there might also be some extra muscle with that as well, but the issue is that afterwards you have to cut down a lot longer than you would if you did a lean bulking phase in which you gain minimal fat, and then the net result will be exactly the same, but it will be a lot less effort and not walking around like a fat person a couple months a year, which is not really ideal in my personal opinion. And then we get to the second mistake, which is the opposite, not eating enough. And trust me, this is a big issue with a lot of people as well that are trying to bulk up and that think that they're eating so much, and they always tell me, oh Merijn, I'm getting in all the calories, I'm eating all day, but I simply cannot gain any weight. Well, guess what the reality is? You gotta eat more. It's the obvious answer, but I have to constantly remind people of this fact. When I usually ask them if they track their calories, they usually don't, and they don't know exactly what they're taking in. All they know is, I eat so much, but I'm not gaining weight. So that's the answer to mistake number one and mistake number two. Track your food intake, track your macros, and be in a small caloric surplus to gain muscle and to gain minimal fat in that process. Mistake number three, not bulking for long enough. This is a common mistake people make because when you come from a cutting phase and you're super lean and then you start bulking, or maybe you might not have been super lean to start off with, you will gain some fat in the process. That is the reality. And after a couple months, your abs might be slightly disappearing or they might not be as tight as they were when you're cutting, because reality is that is not possible. Trust me on that. They will always look different, and that doesn't even have to do with the fat you put on in the first place, but the glycogen and the water that your body is holding that will make your abs and your cuts look different. Now if you haven't been bulking for long enough but you feel like you put on some fat and you start cutting down, and then after 2 weeks you might look exactly the same as you did before the bulk because it simply takes time to put on muscle mass. People think cutting down is hard. Well, let me tell you something. Gaining the muscle is the actual hard process, and that is what's going to make your physique stand out. A combination of low body fat and high muscle mass. It is not easy. It's going to take a lot of time, and that is what most people don't put in. They want quick results and they don't want to put in the time in a caloric surplus because it is not enjoyable, guys. You will not look your best for a couple of months, but it is a freaking investment. And you know what the definition of investment is? To put your money, or time in this case, into something that will benefit you in the future. A guideline is to bulk 8 or 9 months a year and then have 3 to 4 months to cut down. You can follow this approach until you have enough muscle mass, which will definitely take a few years, and then you can decide whether you want to keep bulking and cutting or you want to maintain your physique. Mistake number 4, consuming too much protein. When you look at a fitness magazine or a bodybuilder's meal plan, there will usually be a lot of protein in there. And the reason is that they are on steroids, so they need more protein. As a natural, you cannot absorb all of this, and it does not make sense because the reality is that once your protein intake is high enough and you start eating more and more protein, it will not be used effectively. Some people think you will piss or shit it out. It doesn't work like that, but your body will try and convert it into energy, which is an ineffective process, and carbohydrates are a source of energy. So instead of doing that, you should eat more carbohydrates. They will provide you with energy and they will give you amazing workouts so that you will improve in the gym and you will build muscle. Mistake number 5, not sticking to a goal. This is a very common problem and I've experienced it in the past as well. You want to gain muscle, but once you're doing that and you're a couple weeks in, you start to feel like, hey man, I am not shredded anymore. I don't see my veins popping out anymore. I don't like this. I'm getting fat. Yeah, I want to get shredded again. And then once you're shredded, it's like, I look like I don't lift, man. I need to bulk up. I need to gain some muscle. And this goes on and on forever. And your mind will keep playing these games with you. You start to become like a little bitch who doesn't know what he wants. And I'm not offending you. I've been there. I've been that little bitch. The reality is you will never be satisfied with where you're at, and the grass is always greener on the other side. That's why you always have to keep that investment into your mind. Set a goal, completely focus on that, enjoy the process, and crush it. Mistake number 6, overtraining. This is something I've been guilty of as well. During my cutting phase, I used to track my lifts in the gym. I used to do the same routine, but then when I was bulking, I always wanted to throw in more. So at the end of my workout session, I still felt like, I can do some extra sets. I can do some extra sets here and there. I want to make some extra gains, you know. I'm bulking anyway. I'm eating a lot of food. It'll be fine. It'll not be fine. You want to have a training program that has structure. Same with your nutrition plan. So make sure you have a workout routine and that you strictly follow that routine. And yes, it is fine to increase your volume, but you want to do that over the weeks, and you want to do it with structure. You don't want to just go into the gym and do stuff because you are bulking anyway. You want to make these gains strategically. So what I do is I up my volume every few weeks. So I'll add a set here and there, and I'll continue this throughout my bulk. It's just very important to keep training smart and not just hard. Last but not least is eating a lot of crappy foods. And I completely get it. You might have just finished a cutting phase. You might have been restricting yourself with your calories, and now you're able to eat anything you want. So you're gonna eat everything in sight. And this is fine, so let yourself go for a little bit, but after a day or two, you gotta realize that it's time to get back to reality. Some people see bulking as an excuse to eat crappy foods and do that throughout their whole bulk because they have a lot of calories to fill up. Now, some people say a calorie is a calorie, so it doesn't really matter where you get them from. Now, in reality, this is not true, and it definitely does matter where you get them from. When we talk strictly body composition, yes, following a macro target will give you results, but the issue is that if you only eat crappy foods, you will not feel good mentally. So you might physically look really good, but you might still feel like shit. And that also means that your workouts are not gonna go as well as if you would stick to healthier foods. So you have to make sure that the majority of your diet is proper food. It contains fiber, vitamins, minerals, and you get all of that in. But next to that, obviously, you can let yourself go a little bit and enjoy here and there. It is fine. We're still living life, right? And that's what I even do during a cutting phase. The goal is not just to build muscle. The goal is to be healthy, to look good, and to feel good in that process. So all of those things matter. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I haven't done one of these sit-down videos in a while, so make sure to let me know in the comments down below what you think about it, and make sure to leave that thumbs up if you haven't already, and if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.